Start of video. What if you woke up one morning, not in your own bed, but in a grimy gaslit room in 19th century London? The air is thick with coal smoke and the distant clatter of horse-drawn carriages. You're no longer you, you're a detective, a peeler, fresh on the beat, and a baffling new case has just landed on your desk. Welcome to Victorian London, a city of stark contrasts, where immense wealth lives alongside desperate poverty, and where crime lurks in every shadow-drenched alleyway. Imagine your first day. You pull on a heavy wool coat, grab your bowler hat, and step out onto the cobbled streets. The city is a chaotic symphony of sounds and smells. Newsboys shout headlines about Jack the Ripper, factory whistles shriek, and the aroma of roasted chestnuts mingles with the less pleasant scents of the Thames. Your mission? To navigate this sprawling metropolis and bring justice to its darkest corners. But this isn't a modern investigation. There's no DNA analysis, no CCTV, no fancy computer databases. Your greatest tools are your own two eyes, a keen intellect, and a healthy dose of skepticism. Your first case involves a stolen necklace from a grand Mayfair mansion. The lady of the house, clutching her pearls, insists it was a ghost. The butler, with shifty eyes, claims he saw nothing. You must interview witnesses, discerning truth from lies. Is the lady hiding a secret? Is the butler covering for a fellow servant? You'd have to examine the scene for clues. A scuff mark on the floor, a faint scent of cheap perfume, a single muddy footprint beneath the window. Every tiny detail is a piece of the puzzle. You'd learn to read people, to understand their motives, greed, jealousy, desperation. You'd be part psychologist, part observer, piecing together a narrative from fragmented accounts. But your work wouldn't be confined to the posh West End. A call might send you deep into the labyrinthine slums of the East End, a world away from the refined mansions. Here, the streets are narrow, unpaved, and teeming with life. You'd navigate crowded tenements and shadowy gin palaces, places where the line between victim and perpetrator is often blurred. Perhaps a dock worker has vanished without a trace. The locals are tight-lipped, suspicious of outsiders, especially the police. To solve the case, you'd need to earn their trust, perhaps by sharing a pint in a rowdy pub, or showing a bit of compassion to a family in need. You'd learn that justice isn't just about catching criminals. It's about understanding the society that creates them. The technology of the time would be both a help and a hindrance. The electric telegraph is your lifeline, allowing you to send urgent messages across the country in minutes. A true marvel. Photography is a new and exciting tool, allowing you to capture a suspect's likeness or document a crime scene, though the process is slow and cumbersome. You might consult with an early forensics expert who could analyze a smudge of ink or a strange powder found on a victim's coat. But mostly, it's about good old-fashioned legwork. You'd spend hours, days, even weeks chasing down leads, poring over dusty records at Scotland Yard, and walking the beat, getting to know the rhythm of your city. Let's think about the dangers. Being a detective in Victorian London wasn't for the faint of heart. You could find yourself chasing a suspect across the rooftops of Spitalfields, or facing down a gang of thugs in a dark alley, with nothing but a wooden truncheon for protection. The city was rife with diseases like cholera and tuberculosis, and a simple cut could lead to a deadly infection. Every day would be a gamble, a test of your courage and your wits. You would have to be resilient, resourceful, and maybe just a little bit lucky to survive. But despite the grime and the danger, there would be moments of profound satisfaction. Imagine the thrill of the chase, the aha moment when all the pieces of the puzzle finally click into place. Picture the look of relief on a family's face when you tell them you found their missing loved one, or the quiet triumph of seeing a clever culprit who thought they'd committed the perfect crime finally brought to justice. You wouldn't just be solving crimes. You'd be a guardian of order in a chaotic world, a thin blue line standing between civilization and anarchy. Your reputation would grow with each solved case. You might become known as the Shadow of Scotland Yard, or the Oracle of Baker Street. People would whisper your name in pubs and parlors. Other detectives might seek your advice, and even the most hardened criminals would learn to fear your name. You'd create a network of informants, a street urchin with sharp eyes, a talkative cab driver, a barmaid who hears all the local gossip. These unofficial allies would be crucial to your success, your eyes and ears in the city's hidden corners. As the years pass, you'd see the city change. The first underground trains would begin rumbling beneath the streets. Electric lights would start to replace the old gas lamps, and the first motorcars would sputter along the embankment. The world would be moving towards the 20th century, and policing would evolve with it. Fingerprinting would become a revolutionary new tool, and methods of investigation would become more scientific, more systematic. You, a veteran detective, would have to adapt, blending your hard-won street smarts with these newfangled techniques. So, what if you were a detective in 19th century London? It would be a life of grit, intellect, and relentless determination. You'd walk through the pages of a Dickens novel, confront the horrors of a Sherlock Holmes story, and play a vital role in the history of one of the world's greatest cities. It would be challenging, dangerous, and often grim, but it would also be an incredible adventure. You would be a protector, a puzzle solver, a true pioneer of modern detective work. What do you think? Could you have hacked it as a Victorian detective? Let me know in the comments below what part of the job you think would be the most exciting or the most difficult. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey back in time. If you enjoyed this trip, please give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure into the past. Until next time, stay curious.